Right, I've just finished adjusting my clutch without even taking off the derby cover. Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying the channel and the series of videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. So this video, very quick, I'm going to talk about adjusting your clutch on your Softail, your Harley Davidson Softail. For me, I've got a Sport Glide, as you know, without taking off the derby cover to make a clutch adjustment there at the basket. So here, really, I'm talking about the cable and the slack in the cable. So if you watch my video up there about when I installed risers for the handlebars, in that video I also went through the clutch adjustment process about removing the sleeve on the clutch cable, slackening it off, taking off the clutch lever, so on and so forth. What I did on that video is actually I rerouted the cable in front of the top yoke, the triple tree, and then back round to the clutch lever. What happened then was, what I found was that on my full lock right, it was actually slightly pulling on the cable. That was enough to interfere with the clutch operations. So on normal full left lock or center riding, centralized bars, the bite on the clutch, in other words, when the clutch started to disengage and then the gears started to engage, as it were, it would be about halfway through, halfway releasing the clutch lever. When it was all the way right on full lock right, I'd virtually have to go all the way out and then it would just about bite. What this meant was if I was trying to turn right, trying to maneuver the bike and add it full lock, let's say, the bike would almost jump into gear or jump lurch forward, which isn't a good situation, so I had less control. Okay, so what you need to do really is look at the cable pathway and then also look at the slackness within the cable itself. So if you have rerouted your clutch cable for whatever reason, you might find that actually on certain positions, whilst the cable itself isn't snagging, it might be slightly interfering with the bite where the clutch disengages and then you can actually start riding off. If you notice there's a difference between full left lock and full right lock, then you're going to have to adjust your cable or even thinking about rerouting it. It really depends how you feel comfortable about it. Anyway, so what you need to do, so follow that video up there about installing the risers. Follow the process about disengaging the clutch cable, first of all from the splitter point, release the slack, take off the clutch lever. Then you're going to have to take the cable out, reroute it. Then I've rerouted it back to the front of the triple tree or the top yoke. Well, front as in towards the rider, not in front of the triple tree. And then I put that back into the clutch lever. Actually, now it works great. Also, when you reset that red clip on the clutch adjustment there, make sure that your handlebars are either full left or full right where the cable is stretched the most, and that will reset it at its most, at its longest point. Therefore, you're going to have less pull at a shorter distance. What it's been adjusted to a shorter distance, it'll be pulling at its longest distance. The other thing you want to look at is actually the clutch cable that goes from the underside of the bike as well. Sometimes there is a little bit of slack there, so you can actually pull the cable housing round and then push it up a little bit as well. And that will give you a little bit more slack on the top end of the cable as opposed to it being underneath. What difference does this make? What happens is when you engage the clutch, there's always going to be a bit of clutch movement, clutch cable housing movement, the sheathing. So if you've got all the slack of that on the top side above the adjuster as opposed to below the adjuster, you're going to have more play with it and you're going to be able to control it a little bit more. What I have noticed is that sometimes that clutch cable can slip down a little bit, so you want to try and pull it up as much as you can. Anyway, it's worked brilliantly for me. I haven't had to open up the derby cover, I haven't had to change anything there. It's just a simple case of making sure that you've got enough slack in the cable, clutch cable, and make sure that you've routed it correctly, and make sure there isn't too much slack on the underside of the bike where the clutch cable goes, and then it's feeding all the way up as well. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. Watch the video up there for the changing of the handlebars. That goes through all the clutch adjustment process as well, the clutch cable and rerouting process. But I thought I'd quickly share this with you just in case you are having issues with your clutch cable and you're thinking it's a clutch problem. Well, actually no, it's a clutch cable problem rather than a clutch problem. You just need to make sure that there's enough slack in there, full lock right and full lock left. I'm not talking about whether the cable snags on the steering. I'm talking about how it affects the clutch operation. So the other thing you have to make sure is that when you're on full lock left and full lock right, that the cable isn't being snagged between the triple trees and the frame as well. Make sure that isn't happening. So you might have to reroute it a little bit more just to find exactly that sweet spot. Anyway, hope you found that useful. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. Check all the videos back in the archive for Sport Glide specific and Softails as well. And I'll catch you on another video coming very soon. Ta-da.